Hello and welcome to another Zack Carnage video, and this time we're going to be taking a look at the updated Shaddoll deck profile for my channel. Now keep in mind that we are still missing all of the mathematicians, unfortunately. They just seem to constantly be going up in price, which means that I have to find other ways of playing around them. But luckily Light Swans exist, Armageddon Knight exists, so we have all sorts of ways of sending monsters to the grave. Unfortunately, none of them are Earth. So let's get into this deck profile. We'll start off with the monster lineup. Specifically the Shaddolls. We have 2 copies of everything. Beast, Squamata, Dragon, Falco, and of course, Hedgehog. Any particular reasons behind these? Not really. I mean, Beast is obviously the best in that you go +1, but nobody ever sets Beast anymore, so we can't use that effect so much, which is why it's down to 2. Squamata I generally used to play 1, but 2 for extra deck thinning is just a little bit more useful. We need the 2 dragons for getting rid of spells and traps now. 2 Falco, definitely preferable to 1 just because of how useful it is. And Hedgehog has to be at 2 because we now have more spells to search. We are now searching that El Shaddoll fusion, so we can have battle phase shenanigans and quick play shenanigans, so it's really key to have your second Hedgehog nowadays. So that already covers a quarter of the deck, but then of course we need ways to send these to the graveyard. So we play 1 Armageddon Knight. It's the less good mathematician, that's pretty much all it is. 100 less attack, and you don't get the draw from when it's destroyed. Also, you can't use this to make Shekanaga, which is a bit of a shame. But what you can do is it allows you to go into level 8 synchros with Raiden. It allows you to make rank 4s with any of your Chaos Dragons, so it's still very useful in that respect. And also, of course, you can send Beast with this card, which is extra useful. And we play 1 Raiden, or Raiden instead of 2 now. Just because of space issues, I feel like Armageddon Knight allows a little bit more consistency in that you get the option to choose which one you want to send, and then Raiden is for the fact that you can still send stuff, plus you can synchro into the 8s, which is useful, and make your rank 4s as well. Then we play 2 Lila, because spell and trap removal is absolutely key at the moment. Vanity's Emptiness, Cliffort Tool, Skill Drain, all sorts of stuff floating around, and we need to get rid of it. We have the mini Chaos Dragon engine of 2 black and 2 white. Many people have gone to 3 white and 1 black, and going for the Chaos build with Eclipse Wyvern and Dark Armed. I used to play that, I found it very inconsistent. 2 and 2 is really good for your additional searches, and I just like this variant a lot more with the 2 and 2. And then for the boss monsters, obviously we're not playing Dark Armed Dragon with no Eclipse, so we play 1 Chaos Sorcerer and 1 Black Luster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. Still an amazing card. Used to play 2 Chaos Sorcerer, but that became a bit cloggy because you don't want to draw into 2 Chaos Sorcerers and just have nothing which you can actually play. But this, having 1 of each, works out really well. So that's it for the monster lineup. And next we'll move on to the spells. So obviously we have to play the triple MFT. Clifforts are a big problem, as well as Fire Lakes, and you need to be able to get rid of them as soon as possible, so MST is really key in that respect. Then we have the obligatory triple Shaddoll fusion. Some people have dropped this down to 2. I think 3 is still really useful because extra deck summons do happen all the time, and you really want to be able to just get pluses by sending stuff from the deck, so I don't see why you wouldn't play this at 3 anymore. 2 El Shaddoll fusion. I would play 3, but I don't have a 3rd. But there are obviously reasons why you don't want to play 3 and 3, because you don't want to end up with just fusions in your hand and just spells and no monsters to actually be able to send with them. So sometimes El Shaddoll fusion is actually worse. Most of the time it's better, but there are a few occasions where you want Shaddoll fusion over this. And you can always, recycle this with your fusion monsters or your Shaddoll core, so you don't need to worry about having 3 of those. Then we do play 2 enemy controller. I'm having a lot of fun with this because what you do is essentially you just use your Shaddoll monsters that you would otherwise use anyway, like Hedgehog. You allow them to flip so that they can get their effects off, And then what happens is, you'll flip summon this and you'll have a useless monster, because this is pretty much awful unless you have a fusion card. So you can just enemy controller, get rid of your hedgehog, steal your opponent's monster, and then you still had your flip effect, and you can actually fusion with that monster, so it's really quite a useful little thing that you can do with enemy controller. Quite a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. And for one-ofs, we play one Soul Charge, which works with Armageddon Knight and Raiden, one Book of Moon, because it's really good against Burning Abyss nowadays, and Snatch Steel, because you have to play it if it's come off the ban list. It's, that's really bad to say, but it is actually really worth it. People keep complaining about the penalty of, the giving 1,000, but you don't worry about that when you're dealing more than 1,000 every turn, and otherwise the monster's not staying around, so it really doesn't matter. That's it for the spell lineup, and finally for the traps, we max out on Sinister Shadow Games because it is the best trap in the deck. It's absolutely brilliant, you have to play it. Everyone knows why. We play Shaddoll Core. Shaddoll Core definitely should have been in it the whole time. I mean, a few people started off not playing this. I don't understand why, because it's useful. You can use it to make Star Eater with Falco, you can use it to bring back your Shaddoll fusions. It's just an all-round brilliant card. So yeah, just play it when you can. And then instead of the big 4, we have the big 3, because generally I find that Solemn Warning is too costly nowadays. Life points are really quite key. A lot of people are not playing Upstart, so I play these 3. And I don't play Upstart because it gives your opponents too many life points, and when you're playing against something like Cliff Force, you have to take down their life points as quickly as possible, and I would rather they don't have the extra 3,000. So that's it for the main deck. And now for the extra deck, we are playing 1 copy of El Shaddoll Window. I wish this were 2, but my second one still hasn't arrived, so I've got to wait on that. We're playing double Construct, just an all-round solid card. You can bring this out with El Shaddoll Fusion and then send extra stuff. It's just a brilliant thing. 1 101, 1 Valval Chain, 1 Digusto Emerald, 1 Volcasaurus, and 1 Durandal. Durandal is... You never really know when you want to bring it out, but if you can bring it out and there's no reason to bring out Volcasaurus, go for this, because it's just useful in certain situations. It's just a good card. Then we play 1 Armades, 1 HDS Syhemoth, 1 Arcanite Magician, and 1 Black Rose. Sometimes you need the other one, it really depends on the situation, but you're probably going to need each of these at some point. We play 1 Crimson Blader because, in my opinion, it's the best 8 that's playable in this deck. You stop so many things with this card. Then we play 1 Leo, because Leo is very easily makeable. It's a really good card as well, really solid. And Star Eater, just for the Falco with, because you can make it with Falco and your Core. You can make it in quite a few different ways, but Falco and Core is the easiest and probably one of the best. So, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to leave any comments or suggestions that you have in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and stay tuned for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Have a wonderful new year.